We're good.
We're good.
All right, welcome to the December 2024 Village of Fayetteville Planning Board. We have a heavy agenda. We're going to try to keep things moving along versus getting tied into too much detail. Neelam, special use permit. What is happening tonight is public hearing. Now, let's see. Site plan, special use will cover that. There's a sign permit we recognize as well. We just got that. We'll get some commentary on it. That'll be about it tonight. So, all right, open it for.
Yeah, so if you,
I'd like to I'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll second.
Good. Burn off from over there. All right, Anyone?
Just remind people what this was about.
anyone here to make a comment as part of the public comment period, please make them to the board versus the applicant, directly to the board. After that period, we will then discuss amongst ourselves. And any questions that are asked of the applicant, we'll be asking those questions after. I don't know if anybody's even here for this. I'm talking to everybody as if we're all here. That's what we're supposed to do. That's a good time. All right, so any public commentary, anybody here to speak in relation to special use permit?
No comments were received in the office prior to the meeting.
I'd like to make a motion to close the public.
I'll second.
There we go. Okay,
It's easy, it's okay.
just said, then we have to go through. Sounds funny. All right. Okay, any comments amongst the board? No. No. Okay, good. Good. So you're okay. Anybody want to make a motion based on the special meeting?
I can make a motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the, this was a special use permit. Based on our last month's presentation and the materials that were provided. Hearing no comments from the public. I would approve that, and are you gonna just handle the sign permit second? Yes. Okay.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so that's special use permit. Signage, we had just received that. I barely got a chance to look at it. Did any of the board really have a chance to look at this?
I briefly looked at it when I sat down. The one question I would have is, what is the height and width of the logo?
It says that the logo is 12 inches high, 12 inches wide, but I think we have to notate that this is the logo, correct?
Yes,
And what's
It's
the,
not dimensioned or labeled as logo.
If that is the whole sign.
but it also says the width of the lettering is that the entire width?
Yeah, there are dimensions, so it's hard for us to.
Yeah.
I guess that's your question. Right?
Mhm.
Some of the dimensions are.
I see this as essentially incomplete.
You did get a revision of the picture with dimensions on it. I thought I included it in the packet.
See there.
In the packet or the?
We did have to help you because it all came in after the fact. So. Here's the one copy that I have that shows home. It is there. Here it shows the logo is 21 inches. The sign is 24 inches high, he said, and it was gonna be 3 feet wide. So this came in after she originally submitted the application itself. Then she was able to get actual dimensions for 21 inches for the image. The larger letters being 8.25 inches and the second line being a smaller height of 3 inches. So if you wanna So I'm sorry to print out more copies. I thought I.
The logo can't be higher than 12 inches.
Yeah. Well, and, I mean, I think the width is even more.
Yeah.
Is probably even greater
Was
than.
this correct, the 12 inches? Because this, you have it correct on the application, but the
Yes.
dimensions are not correct.
Yeah, like on this, that you, is the last thing that we've received. It says that the logo is 21 inches this way. And it doesn't even give us the dimension from like here to here.
So
You had
what's in
submitted
the
the application.
application is the correct ones.
You had submitted the application before you knew what the sign designer was going to give you.
Uh-huh.
So that the last drawing you gave me has these dimensions on it that are larger than what you originally put on the application. So that's what they're trying to clarify.
Okay. So I'll have to get that corrected.
It's
That's what they want.
You just see if you want.
Yeah. It was-
2 weeks, yeah. So if you can go. If you.
What things on the sign?
Inches.
Here, I'm sorry.
No, we can't,
No.
but I want to give feedback
Where is
if
the
we haven't
sign
canceled.
It's going to be in front of the building?
on a post, on posts or on?
Did you ever get a picture? Remember we talked about getting a
Yes.
picture? Do you have something to show them?
Oh, it's going to have the picture.
Is it gonna be on the building?
It's going to be on the building, but it will be hanging down and it's going to have the lights.
So is it- it's
Attached to the
mounted?
building.
Right.
You have, let me see if I can find it.
Is it hanging from the, is it actually attached to the building? Or will it be hanging inside the porch from like the ceiling beam or something?
I would like to hang it from the ceiling beam. Between the two poles. Have two,
It'll be hanging on the porch from,
yes,
freely from the ceiling.
right.
So it won't be attached to the building.
Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm not sure that this is a complete application. There's a few things missing. First, a rendering, a picture of where you mean on the front. It went from 10 feet to 3 feet. If 3 feet is the new one.
That's what she indicated when I asked her to clarify the dimensions.
I like the rendering and the dimensions to match the application.
Mhm.
I'd like to know how it's mounted. Is it just screwed to it? Is it, how is this being mounted? Not for now.
Okay,
You're gonna need to come back with those things matching up.
sure.
I'm sorry, just based on what we're seeing, I don't feel comfortable with it.
And if it's between the columns, like make sure that it will fit
Yeah.
between the columns, so we don't want to approve something on the facade.
So I did have a picture, but somehow it got deleted.
Oh,
I sent you that, but after that I did not find it.
I never got a picture.
This is something that you're
The
fine
last
people.
sign
can do.
sent me that.
Had the image, but not. These are things we'll talk again.
Okay, all right, I'll come back next time. Okay,
Yeah, I
So
never got.
I have better-
The building
oh,
that shows where the sign is going to be placed.
okay. So glad we
And-
did not go through. some-
And specifically, the logo, either you need to ask for a variance.
Okay.
In which case, because the size of the logo is bigger than what our code allows. for.
Okay, sure.
So you either need to ask for a variance or reduce the size of the logo to 12 by 12.
Okay.
And that needs to be, I mean, you, on your application, you said 12 by 12.
Mhm.
But the rendering that we saw, it was bigger than that. It's like almost double that. Like the width was larger, was probably well over double.
Put all that together if you can come back next month.
Yeah,
I had to get a variance.
so I had a different one, but then. that-
And
Yeah, but still, this can't be higher than. 12.
I know it came in under the deadline, so I thank you for looking at it.
Yeah.
I'll talk to the applicant about what's missing, and we'll put it on the next
And
agenda.
all the, like, we would need all the
Yeah.
Design.
dimensions.
Yes,
Yep.
12
Make the
inches
logo
was-
smaller.
Yeah, but it's gonna make your other small.
Okay,
So.
thank you. We'll see you next month. All right, Encore. Sign permit.
So I have a question. So without the sign, I can start the operation or no?
You can talk to the codes officer tomorrow.
All right.
About setting up the business even without a sign.
Oh. All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Look.
All right.
Welcome
Thank you.
back.
Yeah.
All right, so next is Encore. The site plan is approved in the last meeting, so everybody knows what's happening. Site plan is approved in the last meeting. The ZBA approved the cleft, I finally remembered it, the logo to be 18 inches versus our code that says 12 inches. So here she's here for just the sign itself,
Right,
the location of.
right. And we had talked about doing a sign off the building, which she said. This, the sign people, I don't, some reason didn't get back to me, but this is the bracket that we plan to use. Okay, and you should have a picture of this. Which shows that it going perpendicular off the building, so this would be the sign that would, the bracket that would hold the sign perpendicular to the building.
Okay.
Okay,
Is it one-sided or two?
well, it's gonna be one-sided
You
because
don't see it. from the other.
coming the other way, yeah, so it's just one-sided.
Where we don't have.
Clarify,
This
the
is
Adventist zoning, the
Okay.
Adventist zoning board of appeals and was granted the variance
Save the
for the
squish.
size of the logo as well as to have it as a projected sign, which typically isn't allowed.
Right.
Okay. So both variances were granted. It's good.
But these comments. Yeah. There's none, anybody want to make a motion?
And to approve the sign permit application as submitted.
ZBA is. ZBA is approval.
Yeah, talk louder, say it again.
Motion to approve the site permit application as submitted with the ZBA.
I'll second.
Second is Captain, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
That's it. You're all set for the
Okay,
sign.
oh, goody, thank you so much.
Thanks, Carmen.
Yes,
Good luck.
Thanks. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
David Lawler.
Yeah, Daniel Manning is the architect of the new owner, Linda Lee.
Hey, Dan.
Members of the board, my name is Daniel Manning and I'm representing Linda Lee for the proposed renovation of her property at 101 Pratt's Lane. Since my last presentation to you, a few things have been accomplished. Linda was in the process of buying the property that's behind her from Dave Lawler. That property is 2,700 square feet, and that property precludes the need for a rear yard variance. The property has a pre-existing condition that required a side yard variance, which I acquired from the CVA last month. So we do have a side yard variance, and I was able to attain a re-subdivision map from Lear, which is in front of you, which shows the purchased property that will be behind Linda Lear's current property of 8,900 square feet. So we just received it today at 1 o'clock. So Mike hasn't had a chance to review it and approve it. But I will make sure that it has all the necessary documentation on it for the chairman's signature. So with that, we're asking for site plan approval so that we can get the subdivision map signed, the survey finalized with the additional property included, and then proceed for the application for the building permit. Again, we haven't changed the footprint. The floor, the renovation drawings are the same as I presented to you in the first meeting.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good.
Assuming Mike gets a chance to review this.
I'll get together with Mike and we'll make sure all the i's are dotted and t's are crossed.
I'll make a motion that based on the zoning board. Approval of the side yard variance. And after review with Mike of the backyard variance with the new property added,
Yard addition.
yeah. That we approve the site plan as presented.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
I.
When is the closing of that second?
Say it one more
When
time.
is the closing of that second property?
I just talked to the attorney and he's got it in motion. So it should happen as soon as it can happen.
So adding to that, as part of that, assuming
Yeah.
this closing occurs.
It'll get filed.
Did a short review on it. It's gonna need a few things addressed, but once the maps are approved, or I'm sorry, after the maps are correct. Bring it in, it needs to wait till the next month for them, coming forward to sign off on, or. They're
Figure that out.
correct.
You can make
Yeah, make contingent on.
Correct the regulations. Then you can bring in the same for a big matter.
Yep.
Okay.
Appreciate the board's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. There's some. We have to receive it. But next, I think we'll do it. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I'm the existing one. Let's see his email.
I see it's in the first.
The first two, we've already seen, 3, so I think.
I do. I was walking in.
So. Definitely the first one, I'm not sure, let's see.
He wrote it on there. Sorry, one moment.
That's something that's regularly do.
So
Do you have any
for the
questions?
special use permit was an unlisted action. So
Still-
we should make a determination as to whether or not. Result in significant adverse environmental impact, since she's coming back. I'm happy to. Or no action required. It's a type 2.
Mhm.
And when that's the last one was under seeker.
As far as the lot line adjustment, regulations. We can still do that.
Don't
Do that,
Yeah,
Okay,
It should definitely evaluate it. And
both.
certainly make the statement again. If it
I think you have to
hasn't
do
already.
both of them.
All right. Pause for, in reference to Daniel Manning's presentation for the Lawler property. I'm going to declare it unlisted action under seeker.
We determined there was no,
Determine there's no adverse environmental impact.
since the zoning board was approved,
Yeah, since the zoning board.
the extension of the property line. We don't, I wouldn't see any significant adverse environmental impact with that change.
Can you just take what she said and put that down?
I'm trying to hear your voices. They're awfully soft these days. So,
So in reference to the, I guess you could call this. The, Lawler, we believe it's a law. Unlisted action under seeker. With your discussion, we determined that this approval would not result in any significant adverse environmental impact now that he's received the variance. And he receives, non-conforming side yard variance as well. We're on for,
is that, as far as that secret declaration, is there a second to that?
Second,
Are these, everyone's in agreement?
all in favor?
Opposed? Okay.
and for the unfilled, this. We had to see there's a type of two action. Or actually required, although I didn't discuss that.
The first site plan was already reviewed, so that has already been adjusted, the site plan, so the sign was in. Right, you're all set for that one.
For the new. Job. It's also unlisted action under seeker. There, we have determined, we have believed we spoke about it at the previous meeting, that there would be no adverse impact in the change in the facility. However, the sign is going to come back before us. Yes. So. And that's what the sequence, everything. And it's a type two. The previous.
Yeah. Okay, friendly Honda.
Here we go again. Scott Freeman, landscape architect, representing the County Automotive project. We have a 12,000 square foot addition that we would like to summarize with you, informational meeting. Before I do so, I'd like to introduce Dave Duncan, the friendly automotive, just to give a brief summation.
Hi, my name is David Duncan, the CFO from the Auto Group, which comprises of 3 stores. Store in Poughkeepsie, New York, store in Middletown, our youngest store, which is currently on the Fayetteville. We opened the store in September 2019, which was just a few months before the COVID-19 restrictions and that were in effect at the time. I call this store the little store that could, because I wanted to deal with that. But coming out of that, for those who don't know, the car industry suffered a severe shortage of inventory. They tried to buy a car during that time. Honda was particularly impacted by that, and the Honda Fayetteville was specifically impacted pretty harshly relative to. So we're pretty proud that it's what it's doing. We're proud that it's a member of the community, as a member of Chamber of Commerce, participates in certain plays with vehicles and community events in the village. Part of what that inventory shortage meant to our business is that our customers and potential customers were keeping their cars longer because cars weren't available, they were more expensive, et cetera. So that means that people are servicing their cars more frequently than happened in the last few years. And so while our sale of vehicles to our customers has kind of been restricted by some of the things I mentioned, the actual service and repair of vehicles for our customers has expanded beyond our original projections. And so we're proposing to accommodate that additional demand by putting some capacity on this existing facility so that we can continue the potential of that store and move on.
Thank you, Dave, and just to continue. Get some logistics. Tennessee Streets here, there's numbers over here, town is that way. Residential communities back here. Existing facilities right here. The 12,000 square foot addition will be located here. What's in that location right now is existing car storage, which would be reduced from 333 spaces on site, reduced down to 274 to accommodate that. To build this building, we'd be removing I think they're 20 to 25 foot height lights. We'd be removing those lights. And in place of that, we would be putting lower wall pack lights on the building, so going with a lower light level back there. The existing service bay is right here, drive aisle with spaces on either side. The new drive bay would have the same east-west orientation, so the doors would be facing east and west, with all the bays on one side, and there would be a car wash expansion building as well. Just to note, this is not a car wash that's going to serve the public. This car wash is only for Honda vehicles, so it would not be bringing the high level of traffic associated with public car wash. It's another point is there be no minimal stormwater impacts because we're going from pavement to roof. So we have existing stormwater facilities, subsurface throughout the parking lots, one subsurface in the back, one in the front, and we have the pervious pavement in the front, which Honda's maintained, working very well. So informational meeting, code right now says you have 10,000 square foot of the baseline. We're at the last project we had a variance for. We have a variance for 22,000 square foot, and we want to increase that variance to 33,000. So go from 22,612 to 33,773. Like to say, I think the addition is thoughtfully placed. It's in the back. We have the field comments, and with me is Brian Matthews, the architect. If you have any architectural questions on how that building works, building height, use, or anything else. So we're looking for that referral, the preliminary comments.
What was the original size of the old Chevy dealership building?
Smaller though.
I'm sorry.
Or invite John.
It was small, it was bigger than the building.
Yeah, right, bigger building, yeah.
This was smaller.
It came along and went over here. They didn't have, Honda had more of a compact building model, but I need for more spaces. The old dealership was a lot bigger, not having parking room. Forward that information before that, I just don't have that on the fingertips.
Want to ask one question. It's about the car wash. I just want to get more clarification. You indicated that it's not for the public, but for Honda vehicle. So is it that only Honda vehicles that are being serviced, or anybody who's like a customer can come in and?
No, it's for, they maybe speak to
Yeah, so
how that works.
if a customer, prior to getting a purchase of a new or used vehicle or getting their car serviced, from the Honda Fit, an employee would take their car before delivering it to them and run it to the car.
It's not like a Delta Sonic where you get a 10-pack.
Was there one originally proposed? I think
Yes,
so.
that's a good point, and
It's
that,
originally.
and that was
Was
included.
that in
in-
the approval?
It was in the old approval, and that car wash was located
So that was never
as,
built.
as a freestanding building.
I
We
remember
didn't
that.
build it because it wasn't big enough, and it just wasn't efficiently placed on the site. And architecturally, the architect would like to incorporate it next to the garage space. It's more efficient, so now you have free flow going through the site. You put that there, it's really, we're happy with it. Architecturally approved it.
Is there any forest treatment back there? It was all solid asphalt.
This was solid in the back, this was all permeable.
I think it does.
I think there is some other areas that goes back.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, we have,
I'm a customer.
it's held up really well. Good install.
It is, it works. That's why I wondered if we were replacing.
Yeah, yeah,
I think there is some. I think they have to figure out. Look across the street.
I have a question, but. Everybody else knows this, but I don't. Auto Butler.
So, Auto Butler, it's a clean protection and buffer. Basically, with a car wash but without suds and water, car goes in, it's a material applied to it which protects the paint from it. So customers can come depending on what kind of the model they purchase, they can come 2 or 3 times a year to get the car against it.
Where does the discharge of that water go? And whatever products it is in
For
water?
the car wash,
Yeah.
I'm sure where is it?
I think it's recycled. It's a
Car washes
recycled.
are typically 100% recycled.
Yeah, we don't have.
There's a filter system associated with it, and it's a turnkey
Yeah.
product that's
But
provided by
it's
the car
underneath.
wash vendors.
So it's under the.
Yep.
Under the new building.
Yes.
What about noise? I assume that this is gonna be inside, so it should be pretty insulated. from outside.
Similar, same hours of operation. There will be 8 additional, what's the net increase? What's increasing? 8 service bays, 8 mechanics.
Yeah, but specifically as it relates to the car wash and auto buffer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There, actually, we had a public hearing because I was concerned as well about the neighbors back here, lights and the sound. At that time, there was no opposition to it. But this would have to have a public hearing.
And just because it was asked earlier, the original building was 27,889. You built 22,292. Was that with that 500 square foot car wash that was planned before?
It was included in
That's
that.
included in that number.
Yeah, what it would be interesting is what you built versus what was approved.
I mean,
Square footage.
prior to this project, you're saying
Even-
before this project.
Even with this project, because I believe I know you didn't build the car wash, and I don't know, was the building built exactly?
Oh, yeah.
So the
With-
square,
within-
but you
within-
had an approval for a larger square footage, is my
Yes.
point with the,
Yeah, with,
detached.
with the variance, we have 72,612. You have to subtract out the car wash.
Yes.
And I don't know that number off the top of my head, but we could certainly.
That would be important for you to know.
Yes.
zoning.
I didn't notice a plan for additional plantings or any other kind of coverage, and I asked because when I drive Salt Springs right now, I feel like I'm driving through Clarkson, New Jersey, we're seeing the back of these industrial buildings.
Yeah.
I'd rather not see that, especially with the big stainless steel or whatever white building it is. It's beautiful from the front, we worked together to make sure that fits the village as best it could. But from the back side, not just the neighbors, but people driving down Salt
Yep.
Springs.
It's
It
also,
looks like an industrial
it's
building.
pretty visible, more so than we thought it would be on this side, and now you're actually having a
Side.
building extension.
More visible where?
I think when you look at anything from the roadway. You're
In Salt Springs.
Yeah,
It's on
you
that
can
way.
actually see it. You know, this time of year. So you can, and also on, I would say like right, when you're coming from. Coming out, you know, toward the village. You see a lot more around the area where you have a few arborvitae planted. So I'm just wondering if you'll be able to see that extension of that building probably, so that my point is that architectural face for that small section should match. Cause I think you're gonna see it, so it's something I'd have you study, what that looks like when there's.
Match the building.
at least
But
for that
I think I can offer.
small
the-
section.
yeah. You want to speak to that, Brian?
Yeah, what is tell us about the
So-
architectural treatment?
The existing service bay is insulated metal panels, wingspan panels that stretch from the grade to the roof line. And that is a different facade treatment than in front of the building. This addition is gonna step down 3 feet from the top of the existing service area to the new roof elevation. And then the car wash area, again, is gonna step down another 3 feet. So in an effort to try to reduce the impact that you're gonna see as you traverse Salt Springs Road. But the intent right now is to continue the insulated metal panel facade at the new service area to match the existing.
So if you could look at the facade, like where the dumpster enclosure is, like usually I see like a plow truck there most of the time, or there's some vehicle there. That's the facade I think we'll be able to see from the street.
From the street being
Route
West
5,
Tennessee.
yeah, West Tennessee. Do you think?
You'll see that corner for sure.
Yeah.
There is a dumpster enclosure that screens that view a bit. And there's a used oil tank,
Yeah.
waste oil tank out there that feeds the heating system. as
Maybe
well.
it's just more vegetation than you have. Right now, it's just around the enclosure. Maybe that needs to be beefed up so you don't see that. So I would look at that.
The building's
I think
big
they-
enough
they-
coming from Genesee. so-
Vegetation is probably the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's, I would agree with that.
it's very open.
It's limited, but it's not in an area. There's sufficient snow storage, we could do
Yeah,
something.
you have to get closer to the street, because there is usually a vehicle parked there, like it looks like a service vehicle.
Yeah, it might not be small arborvitae's or everything, it might be 2 or 3 to help filter the view. I don't think there's room for a wall vegetation, but I think we can certainly.
Yeah, they'll get pretty big.
Makes sense. One thing I would like to talk about also is the lighting we did, as Brian mentioned, we are stepping the building down a little bit. But we're also stepping down the lights, as I mentioned earlier, there's two larger light poles that are 20-25 feet. And we step those down, so what would the wall packs
They're gonna
approximately?
mount that at 14 feet above grade, so the light level will drop from the pole elevation of 22 feet or so down to 14 feet.
So when you talk about visibility from Salt Springs, if you're driving down from Salt Springs, you'll be able to see, the buzzword is a dark sky compliant light. But you're gonna see light coming down 20-25 feet from the sky. Now that light, that dark sky compliant, you're still gonna see the light, but we're gonna reduce the light from 25 feet down to 14 feet. And the other thing I'd like to offer is, there are some other poles back here, and something Dave, Brian and I talked about is with LED lights. There is a possibility to reconfigure these lights to lower the light levels at a certain point in time. So there's a variable you can put in these lights to lessen the light impact.
Okay.
And so, this Honda does have a lot of inventory, there's a lot of value there, so to turn off the lights, I don't think that's something we want to do. That's their investment factor, so we want to have enough light to deter right from taking damage of the vehicle, but we can work with those light levels going forward, along with the other comments you mentioned. We wanted, that's the whole purpose of this meeting, we want to kind of see where you are, we'll show you where we are, and before we get into addressing all these items. Putting together, positive recommendation. With that being said, Brian, Dave, and I have to take retirements. And we try to keep that a little, before making a recommendation. I hope with that recommendation.
My, I guess two concerns. One, when the project was originally presented, the square footage of the old auto dealership was exactly X, and we reduced it down to the current footprint. Now you're basically adding, if not the same, it's probably more footage than what the original building was. The other concern I have is the aesthetic look of, I guess it would be the west side of the building. And how that looks, you're talking about dropping down 3 feet for the auto bays and then dropping down another 3 feet. How's that gonna look and how's that gonna tie in with the that entire side of the building? As well as, I guess, the east side of the building.
That on your elevation, I get that over here.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's pretty. No.
This one's colored, so it's a little bit easier to talk to this one. So what's shaded in tan is the new facade and the remainder of it is the existing. So if you asked in particular about the west elevation, so this is the west elevation here. So I don't show the front of the building to Raft Street, but we switched to that insulated metal panel once we get past the service entrance. And that's this piece is the
Right.
existing service. This piece is the new service and the new car wash next to it. So it's a continuation of the materials, but it's stepping down in scale by that change in floor elevation as well as the roof elevation.
part of that has to do with the grade. The grade kind of slopes off in the back and we
And-
didn't want to create a big fill situation and somewhat respond to anticipated questions.
Yeah,
You know,
And that's understood and my concern is, instead of it being a shorter span, you're gonna have that. I guess, I mean, it's gonna be a very sparse look coming out of the village. Going to the east.
I agree, but I also think as you travel out of the village, your cone of vision is gonna go from when you're going 15, 20 miles an hour to this, as you pick up speed, your cone of vision
Well,
is gonna be focused on.
You're
the-
still 30
Yeah.
for another half
Yes.
mile down the road.
But there's a jog in the site and there is fence and some vegetation here. That's softening that a little bit. It's not 100% screen, but I think there is some vegetation there, so it's.
Well, would you consider more vegetation, trees, bushes?
We can, we can- we can look at it, but it's, I mean, you need room for snow,
It's up, they're up against the fence. now,
Yeah, and
because
you
that's
need-
where they're putting the snow. There's not a lot.
you need
Yeah.
snow storage. I mean, I could say yes and plant more plants and then take them out in a year, so
I mean, in order to screen this, so you probably have to leave out at the street tree line, because you're getting this long view in here. But like this one right here, but it's not, it isn't wide open.
I guess,
But that'd
I
be
guess.
something you could show.
As a
us.
landscape architect, I want to be a realist. I don't want to just be a salesman and say, yes, we can do that, but I think Joanne, I think if we selectively, if we showed exactly where the plants are now, adding some evergreens we could add some evergreens to assist with making I'll call it a filtered view, because there's not a location where you can put a
These
wall.
are
of
also pretty,
evergreens.
ones that are in here, these are like 6 to 8 foot hydrangea
Mhm.
here, so it will give you blockage here. I think if you did it here, it would help a lot.
But what, we can come back with, an as-built of where the plants are now, and we can add, we
Yeah,
could
study
replace
where
plants
those
or
view
add, we can
sheds
do a
are
quick
from
study.
Main Street, yeah.
you know, be a great snow shot, because I'll show the snow shot with a blooming hydrangea. But no, we can look at that to soften it.
Or even the backside. too.
Yeah, well, we could do that. We could do some
With the same study for the backside.
Like
the visual
For the
study.
here and here, really, so it's three sides, here, 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 just to see what, you know, what you see when you look out there now, it's the right time of year to look from people's backyards. The street. This is just a setback line, right, so we could plant in here if we had to. Like
Yes,
here,
yes.
here.
Yeah, I agree with the front part. And then here I would just be careful
Well,
because,
here you could though.
yes,
where you're
yeah,
cutting.
that's what I'm saying. I agree there.
Yeah.
Here I would be.
They're really, the neighbors
careful.
aren't here, this is all trees.
Yeah.
So at this point in time,
Your trash location is now getting further and further back.
trash is here.
Yeah.
You'll still be
Well,
able
that
to use
trust.
that. It's not a problem.
Now, we did it,
How do you come up,
Curb
how do you
study.
do it now?
We have a truck radius program. We could actually get when this isn't in use, we can get a tractor trailer to back up here for limited deliveries and parts. The propane tank is actually back here, so I'll show you the truck navigation. That's something we can show.
Yeah.
So It does
The
work.
fire department will be interested.
Yep, yeah, we'll show that.
Is it a under requirement that the back of the building be the same color as the rest of it?
not that I'm aware of.
Thinking about like from Salt
So,
Springs,
Like tone it down.
some
because it's
creative
so
way
white.
to, yeah. I mean, not gonna paint trees on it, but in the winter, it really stands out versus the attempt at foliage, just something creative.
Sure.
Well,
Plant the seed for you
I
guys.
hadn't honestly thought about its view from Salt Spring, but we can. I thought of it more as in the back of the building, and we're going to continue the materials, but. We can take another look at that and change colors and introduce some of the design elements that exist on the front of the building towards the back, whether it be in. Just color or adornment to the insulated metal panel that's currently there.
I get it. It doesn't have a front and a back. It's visible.
Yeah, it's
It's very
visible.
visible and it's in your
People
village.
live all around it.
I
This is
understand.
very open here because this is their access way, so this is all visible.
As to the lot coverage in the building area. The zoning code says that minimum lot size is 15,000 square feet. And maximum coverage allowed is 10,000 square feet on that 15,000 square foot lot. Our lot is 10 times the size of the minimum. And we'll ultimately, if the variance is granted, we'll be closer to 3 times the lot coverage minimum or maximum for building size.
Yeah, that's great. Proportionally, we're
We're way under
it's not a huge,
proportionally to what the zoning code allows on a smaller site.
I recognize, still have the same concern as Dan. The size versus.
Oh,
what
yeah,
was
it's not more than
previous.
one application, this is, you know, first time.
Once. Get some feedback.
so would you, I guess. My team's gonna wanna know, I guess we have to come back probably with some things amended and addressed for the discussion before you.
Yeah.
Consider it. I can make a motion.
So is this a site plan review application? Suppose you said
It's a
it's
site
a
plan meeting. It's a site, it is beginning the conversation of the site plan. They also recognize that a variance is required in order to move forward. So
They're
the
already
next
set
step
up to go to ZBA.
it is.
When is that? Okay, so you're looking for a recommendation from us.
So,
That's what I'm looking for. And then you're coming back to us inevitably anyway, because you gotta come back.
Yeah, so I look at it one of two ways. We can do our due diligence, make all these changes the best we can before we go to the ZBA, which.
Doesn't matter to them, no.
Yeah, but if you can put a contingent list on it and we can address it with the understanding that we don't have site plan approval, even if we get the variance, that we have to come back and work through those issues is the way I would.
Ultimately, it's this board's decision anyway, right?
We're coming back to you anyway.
Yeah,
We're
but
just,
not for the size, but
Well, ZBA makes a recommendation in my experience, right?
no,
you could-
ZBA is going to approve or disapprove and then they're gonna come back to us.
Right.
for the action, so.
For just.
So
for the
ultimately, you
size.
have control over what gets approved anyhow.
Other than the size, yes.
So is that reasonable to ask?
So
We'll
we-
put them next and come back to you and address all the things.
We'd like to keep the project moving by getting on ZBA in 2 weeks.
Same time.
I mean, we don't have to recommend in one way or the other. They're already set up to go.
And with,
I don't
Without-
want to
without
recommend that
knowing.
square footage. I recognize you wrong.
well, what we can say is, what I'd like to do, Brian, is put a memo together that. Outlines the concerns the board had, we'll address as many of them as possible. We'll copy, since our initial meeting. The these comments report, we've addressed A, B, and C.
That doesn't have anything to do with the size though. That's just for us when you come back.
Yeah, we understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as far as the size, I mean, you really don't have to you should make the changes probably until you find out they approve it. You know, because it might be different.
Right.
If they don't approve it. And they don't, all these things we talked about are. It's gonna happen whether you get the size or not. We're gonna have the same concerns. But right now, the ball's in ZBA's court, I would say.
Your first point was a good one. We should have the numbers. of
Yeah, like for
what was
us-
There first.
Yes, because you
That
have
helps
to,
us. I appreciate
you
that.
basically have to state your case and justify why you think that it's a good idea for them to approve it. It's always best if you come to us with that first, because then we would probably would have made a positive or a negative recommendation. But right now, we don't have it in that detail, but I don't really think that makes that big difference anyway. When you're already set to go, but you should do all those things so that they make a
Seems
decision.
reasonable to us.
Not do these things that we just talked about, but
Right.
do your due diligence to prove why you think it makes
Mhm.
sense.
Right.
Look at the 5 criteria.
Yep. That's our hope.
Tweak it a little.
Well, we need to have this meeting, because we want to go in line with.
Even to go to the zoning board, it has to show that you've had the conversation with the planning board. You don't have to provide a specific comment. You have no comment at this point. You have to go to the zoning board with that there's.
Yeah, this is a gift we gave you. Now you can use that.
Precious time.
All right, well, I appreciate the comments.
On anything, or we just send them off, we can send them out. Okay, my favorite. If I say no.
Oh, that's like that one.
No. Out there.
Ted, you out there?
Yeah.
I saw him lurking.
He was trying to make his way back around to the seat here.
He was lurking, he was over here. He's coming around, I think.
There we go. Thanks for coming out. All right. Go. Hey, everybody. Yeah, going, and I'm here with, the new restaurant in Kirby's. And, proposing a two-phase project. First phase would be the interior build out of the restaurant, and then the second phase would be the patio area outside.
the interior. And the concept might be a good. For you, maybe kind of give them a rundown of what we're going to do. My name is Paul Messina. I'm the owner of the Pizza Regionale in Syracuse. My partner John Stage. John has been in business for 35 years. He founded that in Suburban. And it's coming March, we'll have the Pizza Regionale be open for 9 years. We are opening up a Pizza Alimentari. Wrote some notes here. My phone, I apologize. We're an all-day operation featuring cafe, bakery, along with a Roman pizzeria and convenience shop. Full-service trattoria and bar, as well as a market for Italian specialties and take-home prepared foods. Cafe bakery is will be run by my partner Amy Crisarone. We will feature Italian, French influenced pastries, fresh baked breads, breakfast sandwiches, and daily frittatas. Along with Italian espresso and coffee bar. Bakery will produce all desserts for the trattoria as well. Pizza and the panini by day will be featured pizza al taglio. Pizza al taglio is a Roman style pizza, square, stuffy, very crispy. We'll offer up at a slice, as well as Italian sandwiches on our homemade bread and seasonal salads. At night, the pizzeria will support the trattoria. Orders will be able to order a whole pie and take out as well as delivery. Bar restaurant will be chef driven, seasonal menu focused through the lens of Rome. The bar will be a cozy spot for Italian reflected cocktails and wines as well. The market will feature carefully curated items from both Italy and local producers, along with an array of prepared foods ready to take home. We're really planning stages and I'm excited for these concepts. Hungry already.
Same pizza.
So it's not, so the pizza that I'm making right now, these originalities are Roman, it's a Neapolitan style pizza. Thin, it's light, it's cooked in a wood fire oven. This is thicker crust. As light, if not lighter, it's crispier, very airy. Goes through a 48 to 72 fermentation. Very digestible, it's very unique to this area. And even anybody else around is doing this.
Interesting.
I don't know if I like it as much as I like the food. I love it.
So for the floor plan, the footprint of the proposed is pretty much the same as the former restaurant. With the exception is that the kitchen area in the former restaurant didn't extend as far into this other tenant space where the dance studio used to be. So the kitchen, the back of the house is going to be back within that space. And then the open restaurant space is from that wall out towards the street to the north. And it's an open kitchen concept. So along this wall here will be the open kitchen and service counters for you to come in for walk-up service. And also for service for the sit-down restaurant. So again, the entrance would be in the corner here as it is today. The cafe space is over here on the parking lot side. There'll be all new windows across here with the plaza improvements, so you get some nice afternoon sunlight and a nice view down Genesee Street while you're sitting in here. The service line, you come in through here and you can order either pizza or sandwiches or items. And then the market items are along the board. The sit-down restaurant is pretty much from the center down towards the street. And that'll be an open dining space. And then the bar will be unfortunately a bar at the end.
You know how many seats Kirby's had?
We should be in around 120 to 125.
Yours or Kirby's?
Oh, Kirby's, I'm not sure what Kirby's, I would say it was, based on square footage, it's similar square footage. And that's what the occupancy is based on, so I would say it was pretty much the same. Yeah, within a couple.
What hours are we looking at?
Roughly, we're probably 8 to 10, 8 in the morning till 10 PM. Is what we kind of-
Hey, you're open at 8 in the morning?
8 a.m.
For the coffee.
That's our coffee service.
I don't say.
Earlier.
I'm just walking me through exactly, you mentioned like the takeout, or at least that you mentioned the takeout. How exactly do you envision someone doing that? You know, like where do they go? How does it work?
People will be able to walk through the front door here. They'll kind of do this area right here. This is where the bakery is. This is where the pizza display as well as paninis and salads. So they'll be able to walk in. This is all shelving. This is where the market area is. So we'll offer some of our prepared foods. There's sauce and cheese, some other curated meats, pastas, olive oils, great, vinegars. Water here and okay here. This is one. POS system. This belongs. And you be here. Order.
That very answers very well. Thank you. And nobody has a second one then, so that you have a back ramp, for exit and deliveries. Is that where, I guess, this is going to lead out to the main side of the parking lot, right?
Correct.
Okay, so what's going on then with this?
That was the delivery door before was in the.
Potential ice cream window?
That was John's wish.
Yeah,
That
I
was
know.
gonna be. ice cream.
Oh, they might have ice cream.
They'll just paint the nice green
Gelato,
window on the
gelato,
side.
Gelato is definitely.
Oh, it is?
Oh, there you go, there's the ice cream.
But that area could be an ice cream sit down area outdoors.
Yeah.
But they got the delivery coming in the mornings.
That was.
That door.
No.
Oh,
So,
So they're gonna still be able to utilize that if they want seating out there.
because I was thinking that if, I imagine it's probably very convenient if you, I assume
If
if you're a
that door is
bakery, you're gonna be
strictly
sending
for
bread
deli-
out as well.
Strictly for delivery.
If you're gonna be doing a bakery, I assume you'll probably be sending bread out as well. So like probably early in the morning before the other businesses in the plaza probably are
Yeah, you're right.
busy.
Well, that's all covered too, so if people wanna sit out there, I mean, they might wanna put tables out
That's
there.
only gonna be accessible from my staff.
Yeah.
So we have any deliveries or we have any catering events, or something that will go on for that department.
Yeah. What I was thinking of is what's outside that door, which is sort of like the main parking lot of where I think everybody who's probably gonna wanna go to this business is probably gonna wanna.
That's recessed back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not actually shut out in that location, so it's laid out really well for them.
Yeah.
Well, the deliveries were there before, but it was going in
Yeah, that's
over
what I
here,
was
one
wondering,
kitchen was over here before, now they expanded it.
'cause I think on the other side of the building,
Yeah.
it's basically mostly service and maintenance and, whatever is over there. Compared to, I think, this is like the high traffic area for all the businesses in the front.
Jim, why does it say deliveries and entry in that alcove? Is there another entry? If you look on the site plan, it says, I guess right here, it says deliveries, which it
Oh,
also
yeah,
be
so-
an entry. What is this for?
So there's,
The delivery door is gonna be here in this wall?
there's another entry to the other tenant space right
So
there.
this is an entry and this is it. So they have two
Potentially.
doors?
Yeah, there's, well, that's another
Future
tenant,
tenant.
another occupancy.
Future
another tenant.
tenant.
So how do they get, if they come through here, is this a vestibule then?
No, it's, so the demising wall is from that corner straight back. Yep. you got it.
So they're gonna come into here, but someone else's, this is the kitchen, right?
That's right.
So their door is on the side or, yeah, because.
It's, well, it used to be on the
Here?
side.
So this plant is going away,
Part of it, has-
and this is gonna be.
that's right,
And then this entry. Is into this space this way,
that's right.
so what about here? Is this demising wall here someplace or?
So it'd be so in the middle of that,
Right here
so there'll be
somewhere.
two tenants on either side. So you got this door and the other side.
You know, I'm worried.
Door there, and
That's
door there.
be delivered.
And the nice wall here.
Oh,
And
okay.
the wall
So there
for
is
the
that
back.
wall for an
On the
entrance.
back of the basement.
It's like the, where the Chinese. thing is here.
Yep, that's right, that stays.
So now there's
Okay.
two of
And
these.
the door was here, but it's still.
Right. Okay, I thought in the renderings it looked like these were gonna be.
Oh, yeah, those are just glass, so it's
There.
just.
Okay, I got it.
This is not my idea.
But these still have the same.
They're the same, yeah,
like
those
you
have.
got it for-
Yep.
And then what happens in this back, this was an area we talked about, this is still, this has no function for the restaurant?
No,
This service
no, we're
area
gonna have, we'll
is for
have
the
some
tenants?
dumpster use back there, some rollouts. If needed, but we're
This
gonna,
is-
we're gonna maintain. the
That's
primary.
there's.
This is what I was
area
thinking,
is
right
the
there.
Restaurant,
But we wanna walk through the-
because that could be for everybody else.
Yeah, so there,
And then-
so there's
no-
there's the fitness center and I think the hair salon. They might potentially have a back door, do have back door, so they could use. That's what they're.
What about grease and everything?
Same would be
It's
back
all
there.
back there. How
Yeah.
does it get back?
Patio? I thought he was saying that the living area was covered. I don't think so. I don't think so. I covered it. I don't know. It's where the most beautiful.
Oh, yeah,
things in the village.
that's those trees. Okay.
What's on the lower level? There's something that,
So downstairs.
there's a grease trap, you know.
Yeah, there's an existing, there's, the whole- most of the plaza has is a basement.
It does, the
Mhm.
entire-
Yeah.
Yeah, about 85% of it has a basement. But they, Kirby's had bathrooms downstairs and they had
Office.
they had their office down, they had dry storage down there.
Will you use that at all?
We're gonna, that's what the basement plan. They're utilizing the bathrooms and
So
reorganizing.
you're gonna actually use the space in the
Yes.
basement for the restaurant, just underneath the restaurant, not the rest of it?
Yes.
Private dining area or something.
So you should have your office employee, but you can also have a dining.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, private dining.
It's not, it's not an ADA problem, because I don't know if there's any way to get down there besides stairs, right?
But it's a reserved room though, right? It's not like. open to
Yeah,
public.
And the same services
the
are
same
offered up
way.
on the first floor, the grade level. So and the bathroom, there's 2 handicap bathrooms upstairs and then the rest of the required bathrooms are downstairs.
If there's, well, do still want to go back just to the question of the deliveries and get a more full scope on how exactly that's going to work. Sorry. All right, so I guess what I was looking at, right? So the deliveries are going to come out in this area here with a delivery truck, I assume parking here, one of these spots or in the center or something along those
Yes,
lines.
this would be the goods for the restaurant. They'll be coming in. And they would schedule those deliveries, at the appropriate hours. So if it's 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, so it's off hours, they would come in. They would make their delivery and then drive out around and out.
The only other question I have, and if you guys were catering, I assume people would probably want their food sometime around whenever the event was, which would be probably during the middle of the day. Yeah. So would you still hope to park your, truck that you were gonna be loading up probably in the same area?
Or anywhere in that parking.
Well, yeah, so I'm just wondering, if this is going to be like a reserve spot, or you're just gonna hope that it's, that's available, or. And, if we're, the catering truck, I don't know if it's like a little truck, in which case it's no problem, or if it's like a big truck. in which case it's-
big truck. I don't.
Okay, so if it's like a little car, the same,
It's
thing
all
like
good.
anybody else's SUV, it makes no difference to me. Okay,
It'll be during off hours.
well, not, I assume for the catering.
Yeah.
I assume for the catering, it's gonna
They
be.
do catering. and they'll be different.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no plan for a large vehicle.
Whatever, it'll be no different than any other in person who's like. Okay.
As far as deliveries, they're usually very early in the morning, so we can make it, they won't be, coming in peak hours.
But that's income delivery, I mean, like,
Yeah. Well, I was considering both, but I assume, it makes sense for me that like, for the restaurant, you guys would schedule
Even when.
big deliveries for everything. you need
Sure.
Early in the morning now when people are gonna be walking by.
Well, they do that now downtown, and
Yeah.
I have a window between 7:30 to 10 o'clock, but I can adjust that at any time.
Yeah.
9 to 10.
Oh, as long as it's not like when like,
Not like a tractor trailer's gonna have to back in.
Yeah.
Everything will come in on carts and stuff, so.
It was just the catering.
Control routine. My concern here would be, if you do have a delivery vehicle, and say. Catering is very successful, we get bigger and bigger. Then all day and all night, we have a big catering truck on here, as like additional advertising, I want to make sure that's.
Man, if it's like the little one, I have no problem, like if it's the same thing as anybody's car around here, I have no problem.
If that's a standard.
Yeah. But if it's like, something where, big tractor trailer, or even like one of those like extended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the logo of box truck, and even in front of the business.
No,
an additional signage. Huh? That'd be fun.
Taking customer parking, less people in the restaurant.
These guys are getting delivery with no parking as dinosaurs.
No plan. Have a food truck or. You know what I mean? I thought. Be able to carry this. When I say deliveries, it's like catering, it's like sandwich boards and, boxes of bread.
Yeah.
Well, like somebody has an event or a function or whatever, they want to be 40 to 80 or 100 people, I assume you guys would put it all in trays and load it up and zip it out, Like when we definitely return that box truck. Okay, if I have a.
I think at that point, you get a separate kitchen somewhere else.
Could be a good problem, but right now it's not in the plans.
Early on, we had discussions about HVAC, the view from the road, you're able to design that, so HVAC and all the kitchen equipment will be visible from the road. All the way back.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess why you. There was no, I assume there's no like common hallway that goes all the way from one side, all the way to the back area over here, or there is for the dumpsters? Or where's their trash?
The dumpsters are in the corner.
So is there like a common hallway or do they just take it
There-
across the side?
There's two ways, so you can go through the basement
Mhm.
in there, or you can go out that way.
Okay.
Which is the same
as Kirby's, the same
scenario.
Same distance, but they got two options.
Okay. All right, and I'm actually thinking, what did we ever just do with that?
It's trash.
Okay, so it's simple.
Yeah, we said that he said he was gonna maybe temporarily have the dumpsters there, but
Well, now we're putting there
Here.
for, yeah, but
you think of.
The smaller
Because if you never need the loading dock.
no, not really. The way the plans are going, it doesn't look like it.
And whatever happened when we asked about that wall that you can see from this parking lot, did you ever do anything to that? Paint it or do anything, cause this wall isn't. on
That's gonna get
Spring
painted in the spring.
Street. Okay, cause that is visible all across the back. And then, are we done with that? Should we jump to other sections or are you still? have
Well,
questions?
I have a-
You have a good one.
Two actually. It says verify ramp size. There's a ramp in the middle of the kitchen.
There's a step down in the floor elevation,
There's
that's about
7
4
inches.
inches.
So there's four.
Well, I guess there's 2 4 inches, there's 2 steps there, 2 short steps. But they have bakery carts that they have to get down to. So we're just putting in a short, ramp that's permanent, it's not a. Temporary.
There's an elevation change at that point.
Yeah.
Now there's existing steps that are there.
And the other question in that same area is that exit, especially since it is covered. Are the employees going to be allowed to smoke out there? Because no, that's what they were.
That's what they did. before.
Oh,
There was-
No, 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 no.
They were sitting
I'm not gonna allow it. I'm not gonna allow it. I don't want anybody smoking out there and putting cigarettes
You have to
out.
walk by them to go into the restaurant. Didn't, you know,
Yeah, I don't think,
remember that? You'd walk by and they'd be smoking and.
Even when people weren't there.
Yeah.
Smoking.
even not many people smoke anymore, really, when it's amazing.
So it's almost that much.
It's almost like, I mean, 20 years ago, people were smoking like crazy.
Yeah, but in the restaurant industry, it's a lot.
Well, yeah, you're right about
Anything
that.
else.
Yeah.
So
Back it out.
identify where is that smoking?
Yeah.
I'm not saying a designated smoking spot. Where do you think they're gonna smoke? Where do you think they're gonna go?
I know where it's gonna go. I'll show you.
Yeah, where's Mike go? Where's Mike go? How do you get it? We don't wanna see that.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a dirty space, really. There was grease there because they probably had to carry the grease out and things like that. It wasn't that nice. But just it's an observation for you. It wasn't the best presentation for Kirby's.
I'm so excited.
My daughter, very excited.
Oh my God. Maybe they came here now.
I know the plantings in the patio. I know that I asked this
Before you
question.
go there,
Okay.
Did you talk to DOT about the patio?
No.
Because all of your property, that
Oh,
property.
no, they wanted to come to this meeting first, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, so,
The county planning, just so everybody knows,
Okay, good.
they don't meet until after the went. Okay, so we don't have any feedback from them yet.
okay.
Because really, even part of your building is in the right. And that's how it was in front of Bill and Bear. It was very limited things that they allowed.
And that's why I kind of said this is kind of a two-phase
Because that will hold you. up.
submittal, because we don't want that to hold up the build out for the restaurant. 'Cause I can see that
Even
patio.
though
might-
that would be really nice.
It'll be inviting to the whole town.
Absolutely.
Put a bocce court out there, that's what.
I don't know where you're gonna put that.
Smoking section.
The other thing I think we should bring up is, I think you know about the lighting in our village, that it's more like lantern or period. It isn't more like a feel of like an LED or a high light bar, like are shown here. You've got these, especially on Genesee Street. So I would encourage you to like look around at the lighting. I know you're the look you're trying to get, but we don't allow like loud lighting here, or it has to be more, if you see everybody's, it's kind of, it's now, nothing's backlit or coming through, as we told you on the signs that you have coming down, the blades that are coming down from each alcove for the tenants. It'll be the same for yours, that it has to, light almost has to not be existing. So you have to look at different fixtures that don't look like.
How is the lighting? Are you familiar with the lighting of my building downtown right now?
Yes.
So that would be.
Yeah, it's more like that, where it's something that's cast on the
Signage, either
building.
painted on the wall.
Yeah, but even the building, you know, the accent lighting, like, you know, right now you have kind of these strips that kind of feel too modern and too bright. You know, we want things that are more, you know, you still want to be safe, but we want things that aren't gonna bother people driving, or that they could possibly see from their neighborhood home. So, you know, there are views in both directions to that building where people live, so.
I think any lighting that goes out there, I mean, there's enough opportunities for fixtures that I think it would be a lower,
Yeah.
output. It wouldn't be, sort
Yeah,
of
like-
kind of blowing light out everywhere to, I think it would be more.
Yeah, even on like the bigger commercial, like the supermarket, things like that, we wouldn't allow
Yeah.
that much lighting. It's too much for village setting. But you can do something with, like you said, there's enough of them, and something a little less bright, a little lower key, but more, you don't have to be.
But this is not a grocery store, it's a restaurant, so you're gonna have a more of a low
Yeah,
lighting type of effect. You want something that's cozy inside.
yeah. So just
You
for you
know.
to start thinking about when you come back for site plan, that would be something we'd point out. What about the signage for what do you intend to have your signage for the restaurant?
Right by where the door of the market is.
So right in this area, would it be,
Or on the side of the building.
because originally the sign was here.
We.
Originally, yeah, we were.
I think, well, you guys were talking about it a little more, right? Okay, so I guess I'll.
Well, the signage is gonna be a separate thing,
Yeah, that'll be a separate.
Just so that we
submittal, but-
can give some feedback,
Feedback.
so.
but
it's easy.
but so, just what's that wall that's, they're gonna put it over here in the graphic On this wall. We're talking about painting it possibly. It could be like a mural with the logo on it with a nice light on it. We already got light up here.
With a metal cutout.
Yeah, that's nice. I think it's a better spot because it'll be seen more than.
You'll see it coming up.
As far as your question, with the planting, that's all gonna fall under DOT.
I just like it to be higher. Anything that blows around the village ends up in my yard. Once it goes down. We're family is. But always okay, but that happens.
What custom is here?
Just as the road turns, before you make the right on
Is
Penwood,
this?
I get all the trash.
Yeah.
So you're thinking like.
It
the one
blows
over
down the
here.
street.
Yes.
I catch it.
Maybe if budget allows,
Well, you're
you know, a stone, you know, like the stone.
That was a dry lake.
Yeah.
And what's the worst case scenario for the height of it?
The height, I
Grades?
think the idea was to try and make this somewhere around seat height from this side, which would be around 17, 18, 19 inches. But the grade is, I think we were guessing it was around maybe a foot lower. If you were to run this level from the building out, the grade actually goes down the sidewalk about a foot. So you're probably 2.5 feet on the roadside.
Okay, you see, I don't know if they'll let you put a wall,
Yeah. and
you
it-
know, we had a project like that and. We ought to see if it's a guardrail down. And put it on. They wouldn't let us. Because apparently if you hit a wall versus a guardrail. More damage. So everything's gonna be related to
Yeah.
traffic for that, unfortunately. So we just have to see what you can do.
And I think the big thing that we haven't yet to determine is if we really are in the right of way, the state right of way, because it's a split there. In Salt Springs and Tennessee
Yeah.
Street.
They'll probably come back on the county.
So, yeah, we're hoping somebody. can-
Whatever they say, I mean, we'll do whatever.
This is Salt Springs a village street? Or is Salt Springs a town or village street or county?
Little section.
That little section is a village? So it could be the village right away.
Yeah, so.
It'll come back
Yeah.
probably in the county letter.
So that was kind of,
What is
that
this
was another
survey
reason why
We
we put
gotta
that
do
in.
that.
I
So
don't
where-
think Doug would have the
Do you
survey,
have a
though, the
survey?
property.
It didn't come with this.
Didn't
back.
show the search.
Yeah, a lot of books.
They just showed the.
Didn't show that road.
Unless we have a logo in the front, swear to God, I'm on that.
If you're doing it, you should get.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we had cut down. It was really-
Grades out there.
Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere what it is. This is the street line, which this is definitely the right of way. The building corner is 2.7.
Yeah.
Original building also, see, they must have added this piece.
Yeah. Before anybody was worried about
Right,
building over the property.
yeah, it was here too, huh? So you must be found a lot in construction, like when you're in there, you find all the old.
A couple
Story
bullets,
of
area.
it, couple bones, yeah. Exciting. Exciting project.
Cleaned out.
What is the top seating niche area?
I think it's just high top. That would be the, you know, the 40.
A rail,
You know, high top.
You talk about high top table, yeah,
Yeah.
42-inch high.
but it says drink rail counter high.
Oh, is it point?
Yeah,
Oh, for the wall.
That'd be 42 inches.
Yeah, she might have had that. You know,
Last
high wall, yeah.
I guess this is seating, right? Seating here, and then there's two tables, that's a table with another seat. So that's a seating back right here, that shape. It's like a type seating,
mhm.
but I don't know,
Well,
I guess it's what the tables.
yeah, it looks like
I don't
that.
know what the corner is, yeah.
And you have
Garbage disposal in the middle of the market?
No, I think it's the disposal of garbage. It's not a motorized, it's not a mulcher.
Okay. So Jim, why'd you put that on the plan?
Everybody on their toes.
Right. And your
You want
front
to see
windows
if-
open out.
Yeah.
Let's just see if we're
So-
paying attention.
If you were to eat outside, is there service or that would be you take whatever you buy and you go outside? Or are you serving out?
That would be serving.
You are. So where do they come out?
Side door.
Yeah, the existing sign.
I ask a question related to that? Oh, so I very much love the idea of the windows here, the folding windows. They're
Very
beautiful.
different.
But why not actually open it up, you know, where you could just sort of go through?
There's some great issues that we were looking at. But. You guys thought it was more attractive than, we already have an existing door that we're gonna put a storefront door so they can go out there. It'll go in and out, you know.
They can be seating as well, so.
Right.
I
Exactly.
wouldn't want to tables, chairs.
He would lose some seating.
Yes.
I think we were concerned too with some customers,
That's funny.
with the weather being too cold, too hot, and having it wide open. This
And then
way
you got
can throw that
snow and all the other.
They were just.
Well, I mean, it's snow.
Yeah,
I very much do love the.
like a European look.
Yep.
It addresses it to the whole village.
And you're at max capacity, what do you anticipate for a number of employees? And the max?
45.
45 employees.
Yeah, one, not all working.
No, breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Right now, the people that have places.
So how much of the parking do they take up for dinner service?
8 to 12.
And you said you potentially have parking at the dentist's office, the orthodontist?
I'm talking to all the neighbors and
Yeah, because I.
they've
can see
been-
this
they've been-
really-
actually the neighbors, I address them early. And they're really great about it. I mean, Dick Zeb, when he had Kirby's before, he had some parking with the dentist next door. And then they were all, everybody's very friendly, so.
So total payroll of 42 and a 40.
You're thinking at a time,
At a time,
12,
12,
even with people downstairs and.
correct.
We're gonna we'll probably make it so the employees park away. So the main parking is for the
There's a lot
And
of
for the
parking on
public.
on the side streets.
side streets on the side, there's parking there.
Yeah, mainly the back of it, right, is not at night.
No, there's a lot of parking in the back that,
Because all of these are daytime.
because the way I've structured it, all the tenants. Going up to their space are low volume park. I did it on purpose, so all the tenants that are coming in, they're not gonna take up a lot of
I
parking.
can make it mandatory to all my employees to park back by the dumpster or
Right.
the loading ramp.
We can create some parking there.
More specific for them.
If you have if in the dumpsters, you can have it picked up in the morning and you get
Friday,
people
we're
parked
just
there.
us walking there in the village, but this is going to draw.
It will draw,
long
yeah,
people.
well, it will. So we have to make sure we're in there first.
The thing is, the thing that
I'm thinking about where around the village they're gonna be parking, like, what is, as of right now, assume there's no agreements worked out with Dennis or anyone else.
No,
Just as of right now, where would you tell employees and people to park if they can't find a spot in that plaza?
I think
If
you're gonna
they can't-
find Park Street, the Park Streeting.
Where I mentioned where the loading ramp is, that would be designated.
I mean, I could see the slot filling up quick enough.
Okay.
Well, like-
We've got about
But that street, yeah, Spring
More
Street,
than
and then
anything.
what's the other one, Chapel
Depends on
Street?
it.
I parked on both of those,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. Like to go to the shops and stuff.
What is the square footage?
The tenant space, yeah, just over 5,000. 5,000.
Okay.
Cars don't eat, people eat, you know, they'll figure it out.
And that's
Yeah,
gross.
well, there's a lot.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
Cars rolled out.
They're not gonna go down by your house.
So this
I'm just
lighting
being-
fixtures you're replacing in the back, is that what we were talking about?
And-
Like those
Going around the back.
sides.
So I think, didn't you ask about?
Like if you
these
wanted
next
to
time for
run-
these kind of ugly light
Oh,
fixtures in the back?
those will get
This
replaced.
notice felt that, okay.
Yeah,
So is
exactly.
anything happening on this facade?
Not yet.
Something going on
It's all
in the
being
church,
painted
like
and that's it.
Everything get painted,
Everything be painted.
everything, yeah, already right now, we're,
Okay.
They're down,
And you're
they're
just gonna
down
change
street.
out those lights, because originally you weren't
There's
doing
not a lot
anything
of
back
parking.
here.
right.
Was that a tenant?
115 to 120 parking spaces in the whole.
So do you have tenants for all these spaces already? This
We're getting,
one's got
we're
140.
getting close. I think we're gonna end up right now with about 5,000 square feet. left.
Well, I was embarrassed. when I did it.
Oh, I suddenly remembered.
Right.
I know what he's doing right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then once I did it, I thought in my head.
You got the nail salon here.
I mean.
You got
You're right, the
the,
nail is not far.
hair salon here.
One space.
Yeah.
Put,
And the-
alloy here.
They're open 8 to
There's a
10.
possibility we're working on right now that.
There will be an overlap. Their concern is more like the Saturday afternoon.
Put more of a salon in.
But that's the time.
We're gonna upscale, we're gonna take more square footage.
You're right.
We got somebody going
Those two
there.
dentists.
If you can work that out with them, it's
Retail.
smooth sailing.
But
Specialty
but I'm saying
women's
even what they've got.
apparel for women that have like breast cancer, so they have
Okay.
special clothing.
Yeah.
And doing very well, and they wanna come in here.
Having said
And then
all
we got this. The square footage left over here.
Back in.
So right now, we're trying
I
to
mean,
not have a lot of
it was
lot
tight.
of parking. and
Yeah,
we're
that doesn't sound.
doing it
On
on
a
purpose,
Friday.
we wanna make sure
I don't
that.
recall,
One time
since
to be
I've
very
lived here,
successful.
curbs being
Yeah,
blocked.
they're part.
Hey, I don't remember, yes. Cars were a lot bigger
It'll be expensive, right? And these are parking spaces, and they can go in here, and down in the basement, into
Is
the
that
space.
You need all the-
We're gonna try to utilize it.
No, the existing sidewalk would stay, you know, right, at this point, we're not thinking of space.
Know how many dumpsters?
Um,
You're gonna need a grease dumpster and maybe.
IFT is gonna come back and change this whole.
Oh,
concept.
yeah.
You
know
know
that.
that.
What's
Yeah,
every
so-
one?
So this is gonna get cut down eventually,
They're not.
Yeah, it does.
and then I can find out what they want,
It's like, you know.
and I'm gonna put them at the end, no matter what.
But you'd be able to.
And we're gonna probably try to create another couple of parking spaces.
You can build this beautiful thing, they'll say, put up a guard, so. Right in front.
Not at this point, no, and it's, you know, there, I mean, I should say, there is the ornamental trees that are there.
The other option
You know,
is-
and I can't cite their kind of coverage, I'm not.
Everybody here doesn't need much of a
So
dumpster.
they're gonna wanna walk out here anyway.
We don't have a lot.
I mean, they could just have trash removal.
Sit
I
outside.
mean, how much trash can they?
Yeah, they have that, yeah, but they've got.
Or they can share one dumpster
It extends.
with all the tenants, who's going in there. That's,
Other than maybe.
that's what I'm hoping, and then I'm gonna gain probably 2 or 3. I'm trying to gain it wherever I can, and I'm gonna kind of rework this a little bit. If I can rework.
And that was the idea, was to maintain those and kind of, you know, clip them up a little bit. and-
Whatever I can gain, I'm gonna
Nice
try to
light.
You don't know what the question last time about from the streets, like, some, they don't, Spring Street.
They
is
don't.
all
Care about how
paved.
nice.
No.
There's no grass, there's nothing. You asked about cutting.
That's why my
these
hope
out.
is that it's Salt Springs, it's off.
They're used, it's
Right
not
way
a
off of Salt
strike.
Springs and not Genesee Street.
If you're not putting them out.
We want to make parking, and that's my point too.
Oh, but I think they do.
Yeah,
You know.
even if it's not in there right away.
How we should talk.
Yeah,
to
because
villagers.
the village wanted to close off that.
Because really from the right of way out, it's
Brooklyn.
it's paved.
Oh,
This
you're
could
not
be
talking
cut
about
out
the
by
bridge,
the
right?
Yeah,
here.
well, it wasn't on the
Because this is on
bridge, but it was off
Yeah.
that.
This could be.
Isn't that Brooklyn right there?
Just like
Or
it's
the
on-
limestone
This
plaza?
That's your
So
property,
they
that's on
wanted
your
to
property.
shut down one.
So what I'm
lane
saying
and
is
just have
The
that for
village could actually. cut
parking.
out-
I
And so
see what you're saying, yeah.
cars
I'm not
can
sure
drive
why they never
into the
have here.
And.
Well, they could, they don't have any sidewalks or anything.
Yeah, it's just, it's all.
It's asphalt.
And,
Like every other.
yeah,
street.
and the
I'm not
state
sure
made
why
them
they don't
take
have
down.
it.
That's what
And not close off that lane.
I did not.
Yeah, he just.
Yeah.
Because that affects traffic.
But even
flow on
today,
East Genesee.
Because they have doors in their basement.
This limestone plaza, I understand why they want to do it. The problem is that they went to the park.
Well, you don't need the cars,
Go
right?
back.
Lots goes up over the bridge and then takes a run down into
But
the.
I mean, I wanted to do that.
That
When you leave that.
Because people are gonna pull in this way.
They should ask Paul how many parking spaces they have at the dinosaur and the Divas downtown.
No, but you have lots of spots. Oh, no, you're parking out here on
You weren't supposed to.
You got street parking
I
here.
know. I did
There's
it.
quite a
Of
bit-
course
quite
you
a bit.
did. I didn't care. They put up that sign that said one way only. I'm like, I just gotta make it 50 feet.
My wife, I like that idea. Especially this, let's see if they-
But yeah, the state.
I gotta go around the entire
I mean,
unit.
it's got
Yeah.
every other street.
I don't know.
It's not really that's what I mean, we don't
This
have
way
our
our
street.
This isn't any of our, but it's kind of a, just out of curiosity. I'm excited about it.
The only reason why I would think you strike this if you have tractor trailers coming in, because you don't want them people to park there, so you have to
You're not
have
gonna
a
have-
gym, like. is
You're
that
guys
why
gonna be,
this is
you're not
strike?
having,
No.
and there's not gonna be any tractor trailers.
There's a full height wall here.
So you just have to have a gym if you
And
have
then
to
the
make this
ceiling
corner,
here
because
is all gonna be
you may be
open.
using this
This
to
is
do in
that.
that radius.
I can add one per
So
space.
this is kind of separated.
You'll have to look
Kitchen,
at
the
it,
idea is
like,
it's
you're
gonna
gonna have
make
to
the
strike
kitchen.
part of it, because to make.
So
it
these are
match
just
your
right,
different
right,
height.
you know, this we're going to end up at some. But at 8 AM, this isn't necessarily someone who's tenants, right? Yeah, I think they probably would try and people sit over here in the morning rather than leaving.
They open up this kind
Yeah.
of.
Yeah.
Because it would be more self-service, you know, you get your coffee or Danish and go sit down.
Yeah.
But they might, I mean, if they.
There's a couple different conversations going on here, so it's getting a
They're
little.
talking about food over there.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
talking
food is, you know,
Well,
you guys gotta get it, get this thing approved so we can get your food.
That's why it's a good. Is it like?
Michael, what?
What's your dream opening date?
Are there suggestions?
Yeah,
That's my change.
ASAP. The plans are ready to go. Wait, for you know, if they're good to go, we're good to go.
And anything you say in relation to part of this building.
There's nothing holding us up other than
Well, can we,
getting the
So
proper
let's
approval.
kind of bring it back around to, so what-
can we
You want a summary?
make that? Can we put that, can we table the patio area?
I think
I mean,
that's-
They're two separate, they're two separate, two separate.
It's a second phase, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's how we.
We're just showing you
That's how we.
the future.
So you want a summary of what we said in the building here? You're saying?
For everybody's sake, just kind of, I'm not sure where we're at here, and you
Alright.
still,
So let's
I don't know
start,
if you want this contingent, where's,
so drawing by drawing.
where's Ted? Contingent
Good.
on, counties. Review, or
I wouldn't-
probably,
I wouldn't- we
probably
don't
wanna
want that.
wait to hear them, yeah.
In phase two, we're not.
We don't have to put, we don't have to put the patio over the town.
They're looking at it overall, because it's a case of the state law. So I don't know what comments they'll have one way or the other regarding phase one, phase two, or both.
Right.
So either,
So our comments are contingent on there. So what we're doing, the information we're providing them right now, they have to. Because it's not back yet. Right. But we can still share with them what we discussed in a summary form, so they can start making adjustments, and hopefully the county referral letter won't have anything that surprises everybody. I'm guessing it's gonna say, do you have enough parking? How is the traffic? You know, that could come up. So we don't know until we see that. Then they might say something about the right of way for phase two. I'm hoping they do, because then we'll know more about the right of way. But for the building, say SB two, drawing SB two. We brought up that the existing, or the sconce lights that are proposed need to be relooked at. That would not, that's phase one. Same thing I'm saying, you guys.
No, it's too.
We're talking about the bill.
These sconce lights.
Oh,
here,
those-
those
yeah,
decorative
the
lights
vertical.
have to be looked at. It's something that would match our character and code.
Like even in the design standards. If they do something. like that,
It's very general, it's just, yeah, it's in there, but it's very general. We're not, we don't try to like make that selection for you, but we gotta keep in mind. What we're trying to keep here is when you look, look out, it looks dark. You don't see bright lights right now. See there are lights across the street. But like more like a gooseneck of what you have in your existing restaurant. we don't comment on the floor plan other than now we understand it and we understand how many people are there being involved, so nothing on us, there one. Hey, that's. Right, without the. Floor plan, then on the site plan. We put the entries was clarified, I think, but this site plan does not show the delivery door in the middle of the alcove. But that's what you're planning on, you said it's here,
It's right here.
it's here.
And this was the original.
Yeah, so
that
you're
you guys
just
approved. So it was only for
updating.
reference.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily.
Yeah, before Kirby's were delivered.
Was on the side, you're
Right.
going here.
We're just going here. We're going to,
So you're gonna just revise that.
right, we're just putting a door in, we're putting new windows, a new door.
Okay,
We're eliminating this door.
The elevations in this submittal show.
They are.
Showed the door, well, no, and in the original.
The
positive
original,
improvements,
when we got the
They
approval,
actually show the door in the
it shows the
elevations,
door.
okay.
so.
It was already approved.
Yeah,
And
you
the
can check
windows,
that,
yeah.
but still, we want our site plan, we want it to say, just like you did here, entries.
To show the actual
There.
door with
Yeah.
a half a
Or
quarter
just,
circle.
yeah, like, just like you did everywhere else. Then, we also spoke about whatever you can do to not allow smoking and, you know, this area getting kind of dingy. Whether that means you have to just tell your employees. Whatever that takes.
Scott, where do you see an ideal spot? Where do you see?
Smoking around the back corner.
it?
By the dumpster.
And in that case, you could actually put up,
What is
I'm not
this
speaking for
door?
Mike, but some
That's
sort of
That's just the door
fencing
that goes out.
What is that, the
visually
door they
block
go
it.
out?
It's going to happen. Just try to control those.
Is this the one they come out to serve the patio then? How do they
The
serve the patio?
patio's over there.
But how do they serve, if they're
The
coming out
patio,
of the,
the patio over here,
it's over here, but how do the servers come with the food from the kitchen?
the kitchen's over here.
So is there a door? Is there a door here?
There's a door. right
You
here.
go outside.
Cause it says exit right there. Is that the door?
That's an exit door.
So they leave the kitchen and that exit door is in the kitchen again?
No,
So how,
you go down, go to the plan, go to the floor.
It's an open kitchen and expediting is.
Here's the door.
Where you go,
And here's the alleyway, here's the exit door right here.
so wait till this picks up.
So they could smoke in here. This is outside.
Yeah.
Actually, an alleyway.
There's an alley.
yeah,
I mean, they could even put a door here or a gate.
Can we put a gate or a fence?
You could put a gate right here.
Yes.
it could go out that way.
Just some thought to it.
In the action, right?
Just some thought.
Yeah. Well, we gotta get permission from, Shoots for next door. I don't think they would care, but if we put a
Is there a
gate.
blank wall there?
There's a blank wall here and there's a blank wall. So that could be a smoking area.
Yeah, it could. So,
Nobody would even see it.
so that's why we bring it up.
Did you want to call out to conduct the food to the kitchen patio?
Yeah, I was trying to understand which door they leave, just because I see two exits here. This is what you're talking about, they could smoke in here,
Right.
because you can get from the kitchen to this
Yeah.
door.
Yes.
So they would, but what if
show you that
this
on
one you're
plan.
pointing exit here?
There's another one.
That's at the top of the stairs that go down to the basement.
Let me show you.
Oh,
And it's. Yeah. so-
This,
The corner of the box.
this door,
goes out to the street,
it goes out to the street and this is that in between the two buildings, Raz is here.
right? That's, so is this where they go outside?
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
So they would, they would just go this way, they.
So that's why you wouldn't want people to see smokers.
That's
You're
right. We
saying
can put a gate
there.
here.
Yeah.
And I think that would look good
Put
too.
a
And
gate down.
You know, maybe we
Maybe
could even put
farther
the
back so they
trees
can't get up to the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's fine, whatever you think's best there. The other area we were talking about was the dumpsters, you're gonna look at that, what the real needs are.
once we have all our tenants that we're gonna minimize, get that down as to the minimum amount. So basically, they're gonna be restaurant dumpster. Because this is all retail or hair,
Yeah,
and they could even share a dumpster and they could even put a dumpster back here. in That area after we're done with all the work,
right,
and I'm gonna cut this down, I want park, if I can get 2 more parking spaces here. is my goal.
There's a shared hallway here for 2 tenants
So some
right now
people
that
could
goes
use
out
the
there.
van.
So 2 of these tenants
They could have a dumpster there.
could go right out to.
Actually,
Oh,
all.
that's right, yeah. They would be out on the,
You
yeah.
can come out there, cut it
And they can,
down.
that's exactly what I'm, because they're all open right
Yeah,
now.
so show it like
But
that.
right now, they're sharing a dumpster.
Including the restaurant?
The nail salon.
The restaurant would only get this. corner.
You'll
Well,
get.
you could, but it's probably not convenient to get back there.
Yeah.
But I
No, if
mean,
you wanted to put your dumpster over here, you
I
could
can
too.
see.
Employees get lost.
But could you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get out. You'd be going through the school
Ventilation.
back. All right, so that was that. The other thing, Jim,
Air
was
into-
your areas that you striped instead of giving parking in those locations, was that because of trucks turning radii?
Yeah, if you know, if you have active
Yeah.
delivery, you're just not gonna make,
Right.
there's
that's
no
what
way
I
to get
thought.
around all that.
So if they're saying they have box truck, but if you ever, you're saying you got a.
Yeah, like a Cisco truck that comes in, you know, snow.
They would hit cars on their way out,
Yeah,
yeah.
true.
So I think, I guess you're leaving it straight. So you just
That'd
pick up
be
your
fine.
cars here.
Are you gonna, come on, I don't go there. Yeah.
So that, oh, and the lights, you're gonna, what are you changing these lights to? Those are like old floodlights?
Yeah, they're those little bullet lights that are hanging
Oh, yeah,
down,
Yeah,
and so they'll be
They're
just
gonna
the
match
recess
the
lights
same
that'll
as-
match all the others.
Okay.
Yeah,
so we'll note that those are the recessed lights, Karen.
yeah, these are all new
Lights.
cans.
Okay,
And again, that was all on the
These
last
all-
approved
Yeah.
site plan.
and then you said you would paint the entire part of the building that's not getting a new facade.
On the backside here, yeah.
Yeah, this all gets painted in the spring. And the reason why I didn't paint it, because I didn't know what colors we were gonna be.
Right, so they decided.
The same colors as we're doing in the face here,
Mhm.
we're gonna do it on the back. It's like a.
Creamy,
Like,
creamy,
yeah,
creamy.
cream color, yeah.
So those, I think those were all of our comments. Is there anything else you can think of, other than you wanted to make sure the gelato served up in? out of the window?
Yeah.
Would you allow me?
You know, if I have to go inside, I'll survive.
Okay.
I'll write that one
So is
down.
that-
The only reason why I got approved for cider pool is because I told them to put gelato in. And they all got excited about that. They said, oh, well, you're putting in gelato? And that was it. Only
So-
kidding.
So basically, can't prove it anyway until we get our county, but that's your comments, so you have in advance.
Okay. So at this point, as far as submitting for a building permit, we'd have to wait for those comments to come back and
Does this require, does this require a public hearing, Ted?
We're not changing.
No, because it'll change.
It'll
Okay. So yeah, it's just the county comments.
be just funny, you know.
it's like it's just the DMV.
No, they're good. They'll send it. They meet once a month. Problem is.
We
When you
meet every
submit it.
3 weeks,
Yeah.
around the holiday time, sometimes they don't only be once a month.
Yeah, and then Karen's good at sending it right away. It's just, it's not dependent on us. That's why the applicant sends it. to us.
I think they have to respond in 30 days, don't
They
they?
They
do,
do.
Yeah.
I believe they meet Wednesday.
so we might know more. Then we can. Do with the comments, we could then. Look at what you have.
Yep.
Try to get approval at the meeting.
So we'll stable it to January meeting.
Yep.
Based on comments, which we certainly will share.
We'll have them.
with
Yeah.
you, so the board members can get it.
Okay.
And
As
then-
part of the floor plan, we can stick with the basic building plan. And the interior build out. We stay with that, we will finish our drawings.
Yeah, there's no changes to the inside.
So you already gave them.
It's super now. No, not yet. No,
No,
they
we
haven't
already-
submitted
Part of
yet.
the same thing, it seems like we're-
So will you be in there? You.
Well, they're gonna, Tim's gonna finish his interior build out. And then we wanna be able to go to Mike and get a
Okay.
permit. So
So
basically.
there's
we're
no
not
changes,
changing
no comments from you guys.
The rest
that
existing
affect the
restaurant,
interior.
we're renovating
That's right.
and we're.
All our exits stay the same. We're not having to abandon
The
any.
delivery doors even in the same area, you
Right.
know, like we're
Yep.
changing anything.
Nope. Sounds good. I misunderstood that you said he already gave it to you and I didn't.
No. We want to be able to get the permit drawings done.
Yep.
Based on the drawings, I don't think that's an issue. I mean, the right color.
They did for LRI, okay.
Let me just hit secret what we have in mind. I fumbled that earlier with that full disclosure. I mean, you fixed it, thank you. I make a motion to declare the Village of Fayetteville Planning Board as lead agency for the uncoordinated review and unlisted secret action.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good night. Minutes?
I didn't look at the minutes. You found nothing? I read them quick and realized I was confusing.
Remember.
You realize? I wouldn't if I was glazing.
It's already been a long week.
It's
I
only
was told it's Monday.
I'm doing.
You didn't want it. No insurance.
Someone else is looking at them, I'll go along.
Let's make a motion. Let's make a motion, meeting minutes. Say,
Second.
there you go.
Yeah, the second, all in favor?
All right, happy holidays, and then make a motion on the meeting.
Just want to make sure you guys, it's January sixth, first
Yep.
Monday, doesn't seem to affect any holidays.
I think we worked that out last week. Yeah.
Should be back. My daughter moved to London 2 months ago.
Oh, wow.
And I told my husband. She's not. Spending the first Christmas alone.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Oh, you do the same thing.
Totally would.
All right, so if everyone's all set and there's nothing else, then let's adjourn.
Thought we did.
Very good.
Second was Catherine, all in favor? Aye.
I.
And thank you for coming back.